AITA for giving my daughter's loft space to her sister when she moved in with her dad full-time. 38F and my ex, 40M, have 2 daughters, Hope 15F and Grace 13F. We divorced 3 years ago and our divorce process was messy, and it unfortunately caused some strain with Hope, and my ex had some comments about me breaking up our family by filing for divorce, and she ate it up. I didn't assume the blame with words, but I didn't defend myself either. My ex and I both moved into new houses after the sale of the family home, and this was an early sore spot for Hope, because it is my fault she lost her home. We currently live in 3-bedroom home, and one of the smaller bedrooms has a loft area above it. When we moved in, Hope and Grace decided that Hope can have the bedroom with the loft since it'll help keep her art supplies contained. My ex and I shared the girls 50-50 until 7 months ago when Hope moved in with him full-time. She had been asking since our separation if she could just stay with him, and I agreed. We still see each other and text frequently, and she stays over every other weekend. 2 weeks ago, Grace asked me if she and Hope could switch bedrooms since she is the one who is with me more, and it is unfair that Hope has so much space when she is barely here. I talked with their dad and Hope to ask them how they both felt about our new arrangement, and Hope pointed out that our relationship has improved a lot since we aren't butting heads so much anymore. Since everyone is pleased with their current sleeping arrangements, I gave Grace the okay to switch rooms. I told Hope of the room change and asked her to sort through her room and loft, that way she could keep track of what she has and where it is. She didn't take it well. She told me that she knew she was right to leave my house because I favor Grace and she always felt like she was the second favorite child. I never meant to make her feel like second best, but I have to admit that I do have a soft spot for Grace because their dad openly favors Hope since she is more like him, and I didn't want Grace to feel lesser because of it. And yes, Grace is more like me. I was firm with Hope and reminded her that she was the one who left to go to her dad's full-time, and now she's using the loft more for storage than actual utilization. Hope started to cry and said she felt like she was being pushed out of my life. She called her dad to pick her up, which he did. He told me that I was being unfair because if Hope was still going back and forth between homes, the larger room would have stayed hers, so why change it up? Grace isn't losing anything by being in her old room. I told him that Grace is the one who spends more time with me, so she should be able to pick which room she wants. His final remark was that I always favored Grace and that's why I lost Hope. It's been 2 weeks and Hope's texts have been terse with her sister, and she won't eat dinner at the table with us and she hasn't stayed the night. AITA for giving Hope's room to Grace. ETA. Thank you all for your feedback. Only thing that I believe I left out of the original post that directly pertains to the situation was that the second conversation with Hope was telling her that we were going to switch rooms, not that we already did. I thought that point was clearer, but I read back and see that it wasn't. Hope didn't come over one day with her stuff in boxes in a heap in the smaller bedroom. I didn't ask her permission to have the rooms switched because the change was going to happen either way. Even in the last 2 weeks, nothing has been moved yet. Other commenters thought it was relevant to include that I filed for divorce because my ex was emotionally abusive to me, putting trackers in my car, giving me the silent treatment, paper cutting off my bank and credit cards behind my back, projecting his guilt onto me because he was using dating websites but accusing me of cheating. I didn't disclose to the kids that I left for those reasons because I didn't want to sling mud or involve the kids in grown-up affairs. This will also come up when we resume therapy. Thank you all again for setting me straight. I could have definitely done better, and I have a lot of work to do to repair this wrong with Hope.